everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Two Shots, No Sugar with DocuSign. I'm your host, Jonas Tishner, and special guest today is best-selling author, #1 on Amazon, not once, but twice, the one and only Mark Hunter. Here he is, in the flesh.
Thank you.
It's interesting because this picture, you look exactly the same. And sometimes the pictures on the book.
I know it's about 10 years difference, right? Yeah.
And so today, one of the topics that we've had a lot of interest in is around lead gen and how that plays into our idea of digital transformation. So Mark is the perfect guest, the sales hunter. So follow him on Twitter at the sales hunter, right?
Yeah, that is.
So let's first talk about digital transactions and the idea of taking business digital and how that files into what you're going to be talking about in terms of lead gen. How important is this notion of taking a business digital?
Well, it allows you to reach more customers, more prospects faster. In fact, you know what? Let's start right there, prospects. Because
Great.
Do you have prospects or do you have suspects?
Right.
And isn't it amazing how people can fill their funnel? And I was talking about this at my Dreamforce session, sales summit. And I said, too many sales funnels are full of garbage. And it's really nothing more than the sewer pipe.
Right.
What we want to do is we want to be able to qualify fast, move them through fast. Because digitally, what does that allow us to do? It allows us to take them all the way through to customer, paying customers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the nicest ones to get. Paying customers.
The ones that actually give you money for
The ones that
service.
give you money. Unlike the ones who say, well, I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Right?
Yep. Are you guys monitoring our Facebook feed? So, by the way, if you have a question as we're going through our conversation, our illustrious producer is going to be barking out at me questions, and we'll try to answer those as we go.
And the crowd of 1,000 that's right there behind.
It's huge,
huge.
but we didn't want to talk about that. So, so you mentioned something that's really important is filling that pipeline with actual customers as opposed to it being a sewer pipe.
Right.
The old ways of lead gen, people talk about it a lot. It was you just start throwing everything out there and you get them in, and then you start to figure out how to qualify them over a period of time. Sometimes that can take a really long time, and again, nobody's getting paid. Is there a more proactive way to bring people into that funnel who are already qualified so that you can move them along? You see how I did that? Move them along. Yeah.
Well, let me give you a tweetable moment.
Perfect.
Hashtag social media without social connection is social stupidity. You can't just go throwing stuff out there. And that's what people do.
Hold on, say that again.
Okay, hashtag social media without social connection is social stupidity.
So let that soak in, folks.
Okay. There you go.
Mark.
Now, because the whole reason is, inbound, is it really bringing me what I want? That's why I've got to sit there and I've got to say, hey, so I've got to be tailoring my messages much tighter. My objective, look at social media as being nothing more than the telephone in a different format. How do I create one-to-one conversations?
Right.
That's the whole goal.
So traditionally, this idea of the walled garden in this lead gen play, you've got to get somebody to drop the drawbridge so that you can get access. The old days, they could just turn on their voice machines, which would answer. They didn't. They could just qualify them right there. They hang up. They answer the phone. You mention, hey, and they hang up on you. In this digital world we are in now, you can create one-on-one conversations that allow them to drop the drawbridge, so to speak, and create an opportunity. A lot of people don't understand how they can do that more effectively. We talked yesterday with a gentleman who said basically the idea of filling that pipeline with sales qualified leads, marketing qualified leads, it gets tougher and tougher, and sales teams don't know how to utilize social. How would you recommend people start doing that?
Well, one of the ways you got to measure is what is the quality and what is the quantity of the content. Oh, quantity. Did I just say that word? Yeah, I did say that because it's about the one-to-one. I'll give you a great example. I had a conversation the other day, all on social media, with the CEO of a company on the East Coast. I won't go any further than that. And we were both chatting in regards to a discussion in a group. I sent him a one-to-one message. He responded. Within about 2 days, we'd responded back and forth about 4 messages. He then referred me to their CMO. We're doing business.
Perfect example.
Because we created a one-to-one relationship. That began first by just having the overall conversation out there.
So did you just insert yourself into that conversation?
Yes.
Did you see it trending, and then you just kind of got involved in that conversation?
I didn't see it trending. I saw it being valuable to me, and that's the big difference.
Okay.
Too many people run for whatever's trending.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's Kim Kardashian's trending. That's not my audience, okay? Ooh, I know that's painful. Jonas Brothers, trending, not, excuse me. Don't do what's trending. Do what fits for you. Because one of the things about the media world that we have today, I can reach this huge global audience that I never could reach before.
Right.
I got to get more specific, more tailored. I got to get deeper. I got to get deeper, very tight, and find that narrow little slice that can do business with me. Think about it. All of us could be very, very wealthy if we could do business with just 1% of the world's population. Whoa!
Yeah. So the idea is finding out something that you're passionate about, getting involved in that conversation, and then finding ways to either create a question or an answer or something that engages you, as opposed to chasing after these masses.
Oh, these masses drive me nuts because I can't. The era of the blanket message, and we all say, well, gee, we all get those stupid blanket emails. Yeah, we do. But we also get those stupid blanket tweets and those stupid blanket LinkedIn messages, and I don't care where it comes from. It's got to be tailored. It's got to be tight. Because we're bombarded by more stuff than we've ever seen before.
A lot of noise.
A lot of noise.
So finding a way to cut through that noise is super important. What kind of advice would you give for folks who are maybe watching this and they're saying, look, I've got to transition into finding a way to be more lead gen and proactive in my social strategy.
Right.
What would you give them as some advice to start walking that path?
What's the customer outcome? What's the customer outcome that you want to achieve? And when you find that customer outcome, there are probably 5 or 6 different buckets of customer outcomes. Then you back in from there. Don't go with a demographic type or a business size or psychographic. No, go with the business outcome. And then you work back from there. Because at the end of the day, I want to be targeted by what I'm going to find is going to help me. And oh, by the way, unless it helps me right now, I'm not interested, which means another thing. Not only does it have to be the outcome, but it has to be a timely deliverable of the outcome.
You also have to be pretty authentic in those conversations, because we see people who tweet and do these different things, and sometimes they get really kitschy, and it can be a real turnoff. You can stop a conversation before you ever get started by kind of going down that road. How do you help folks become their authentic selves when they're on social media so that one-on-one conversation builds a relationship over time?
Well, automation tools are great, but you got to make sure that it's still your voice. It has to be you. And one of the things that I always sit there and I'll say is, how can I add value to whatever it is? I may take a message that I see that I like, and I'm going to push it out to my audience, but I'm going to add a tailored message to it. I'm going to add something to it. That's how then what happens is now this person begins to receive not only the message I want them to hear, but then they're hearing my take on it. Because at the end of the day, it's still relationships.
Yeah.
Man, it drives me nuts. E-commerce is still we.
Yeah.
And we have to do that. We have to be one-to-one.
It's dangerous territory at what you're describing, because organizations are finding ways to create a social presence with their employees, right? And they build it out because employees, especially sales folks, they just want to be able to hit the tweet or send button so that they don't have to do a whole lot of work, and that becomes really dangerous. You just mentioned something. If you're going to go down that path, or your company is, you should find ways to customize it so that you make it uniquely yours. Because just hitting the elevate button is not going to help necessarily get you more attention. It might get more views, and you might get more impressions.
I can't eat clicks and likes and that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, you can't. I can't. And yet I see too many people that, well, gee, I got 50 people like me or 5 people retweeted this. I'm
guilty. Hey,
I don't give a rip.
Guilty. I get super excited when I get lots of views.
It's fine
and clicks.
It's fine to get super excited.
So excited.
But at the end of the day, you got to monetize it. And if you can't monetize it, what am I doing it for? And let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that are so engaged in social media that they're going hungry.
Yeah. So to that, and we'll kind of close with this point. What is the expectation for someone who starts down this path of working with their social spheres to try and build a pipeline, and then they get frustrated because it's not turning around super fast? What kind of expectation should they have when it comes to turning a social interaction into some kind of conversion?
It's going to take time. First of all, if you expect to just blast something out on social media and you're going to, wow, it's going to go viral.
Hey, everybody.
Sorry, that's not, unlike this
right.
which is going viral.
The only way we could have made it more viral is if I would have brought in the kittens. We were going to have kittens frolicking on that chair.
I think we have a cat video that's running right after this. So because you do know that
it's gonna go viral.
Every cat video goes viral.
Nothing screams viral like cat videos.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish video.
Well, I've totally lost track. Okay, but here's the thing. You can put something out, but think about this. It's not quantity. It's the quality.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to create.
Oh, I remember. How long do we can? It's going to take time for that to convert into some kind of transaction. So patience is going to be key.
Well, because it takes about 3 seconds for people to like and retweet your message. No. It's going to take because you know what you're doing also when you're out on social media. You're creating your presence, your reputation.
Yeah.
So don't necessarily think that just because people aren't responding to me, they're probably still seeing it.
Yeah.
They're building your reputation. Because any customer you go in to see, they're going to look at your Google. Mm-hmm. They're going to Google you. They're going to look at your social media profile.
Yep.
So that is really our resume. That's our reputation.
So, should I take down my Instagram shots of me in my swim trunks, the selfies?
No,
with the duck face.
But you can leave the cat video up.
Leave the cat video.
Leave the cat video up.
With that, I want to say thank you. Have you had a great time at Dreamforce this year?
I've had a great time. The most fun has been right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from a best-selling author. There he is, Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. We appreciate you being with us. Pick up a copy of this because you'll get all of what we discussed and a whole heck of a lot more, folks. Pick up a copy of his book. It's called High Profit Prospecting.
I'm glad I could combine.
You hold it.
Oh, you hold it. There we go. Shall we do kind of a... Okay, there we go.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next time on Two Shots No Sugar. Have a great day and more coffee.